Stop. Back up a little. Back up a little. Tap it, tap it. Alright, stop.
Yep, she smokes a lot. Boom, we're back with another video. This is another car, you know. We're back to our usual thing. A new one that you guys haven't seen yet. I've had it for a while now, probably like 2 or 3 months. This is a 2010 Genesis Coupe 2.0 T, inline 4, got the turbo on it. It is an automatic, but it's not a big deal. We're gonna get this thing fixed up real quick. As you can see, obviously it's smoking, and from the video you just saw, a wicked smoke from the exhaust. Probably a head gasket, could be turbo related, but we got a head gasket right here. Gonna swap the head gasket, valve stem seals, all that stuff in this video. Hopefully that fixes our problem. If not, then we got a turbo to change. But we're gonna get to the bottom of it and get this car out of my driveway. That's the goal. Let's get it out the driveway this weekend. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do here is remove the battery, obviously, disconnect the negative terminal at least, and then we're gonna start taking off all of the piping related to air in the engine, so the intake and all of the intercooler piping we're going to remove, and from there we're going to move to radiator and like coolant stuff. So quick update on the head gasket job. We have gotten pretty much all the piping out. We're getting the last 2 intercooling pipes out, got the fan out, started unbolting the manifold, because we're definitely going to have to take a look at this turbo because of how much oil that are in these hoses. Like if you look here, oil.
This one has way more.
Yep, gonna get this water pipe pulley, water pump pulley off, and start pulling off the rest of the necessary pulleys in the front, and then we're gonna work our way over to this side, pull all the electrical and the intake manifold off. We're working like around that way. So the power steering pump definitely has to come out to get this out. That was one of the first things we took out as well. It's sitting right here, power steering pump. We're going to clean all this stuff up as much as we can, make it as appealing to the next buyer as possible, because, you know, we don't want to be pumping out garbage over here. So we're going to clean this up for sure, the head, and then we're definitely going to be painting the front cover and probably refreshing this valve cover as well. Also, I removed all of the turbo lines. So this is a coolant line here. There's another one down here. It's right there. This is a power steering hose, so don't get that confused. It's this one. And then there's another return hose at the bottom, and the feed is right here. And they're getting the pipes off right now. So we have as much space as possible in the front.
This one cooler is dripping, bro.
Yeah. Oil?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Inside there.
That's kind of why I wanted to get the... it's like muggy. Like coolant and oil mixed.
Yeah, it looks...
And metal?
Yeah,
oh god.
Metal.
Well, we'll see. Okay, so we've gotten pretty far again with the motor. Front end's looking cleaned up. Everything's clear. We got the belt off, power steering pump removed. I think I mentioned that already. And right now we've gotten all of the studs and bolts removed. Well, some studs and some bolts removed. Back to the manifold, turbo manifold off of the engine. But we realized that there is a bolt holding the downpipe to the transmission, so we're going to unbolt that and then get the turbo out of here. Then I'll show you guys that in the next step. So while Manny's disconnecting the downpipe from the tranny, we are going to pull the spark plugs and coil packs and the fuel injectors and all that stuff. So we're working our way, like I said, from this side over, and then we're going to pop this cap off the valve cover and work our way down. So that's the spark plugs removed. Well, actually, we got to pull the plugs. We still have the plugs in there, but we pulled the coil packs.
Get under there.
Struggling, buddy? Let me see those mechanic hands. We got the turbo off, so let's pull her on out. Oh. What's still holding? Oh. All right. All in one piece. Looks good.
Looks fantastic.
We're here inspecting this turbo, and we noticed all the oil first, and then if you look closely at the wheels, let me get a good lighting angle for you guys. The wheels are all chipped up and stuff. So obviously the next test is the jiggle test of the shaft. And look at that side to side shaft play. It goes back and forth, it goes side to side, and oil just consistently. So I don't even think this turbo is worth rebuilding. We're just gonna trash it. Or put it on the Honda. It's like, nah. But yeah, that shaft play is no good. No bueno. That's a blown turbo. We might not even have to change the head gasket, but we're gonna do it anyways because we have the kit, and it's just gonna be peace of mind at this point with this engine. Okay, we gotta undo this water pipe over here, and this one that connects to the back of the head before we can get the intake manifold off. So we're gonna take that off real quick and then pull the intake. Oh, we got the front cover off of the engine here. If you take a look, front cover's off. We cracked it when we were taking it off, so we actually left these two bolts in by accident because we thought that they were just in the cover, but they actually go through. And there's a small crack in the top here. This is where we cracked it. So we're going to be replacing and obviously painting the new timing cover. And yeah, so that's how that looks. We're going to release this tension on the tensioner here, take the guides off, pull the chain off, then the cams, and then we'll be pretty much ready to pull the head out of the engine. We got the timing chain and guides off. Now we're working on pulling the cams. Josh was doing it in the sequence that was on genracer.com.org something, and we're gonna remove them correctly so that they don't get broken, because you can break your cams when you're removing them.
What is it, V8?
Outside with the Genesis Coupe. This is as far as we were able to get on the first day. Manny should be coming later so that we can pull the head bolts out, and then we can lift the head off, inspect our gasket and pistons, make sure everything is good. We know the bottom end is good because we did compression test it and we were within spec between all 4 cylinders, so that is good. I think I have a water hose on this side to disconnect from the back, a couple of other water pipes like this one before we can pick it up, but that's pretty much it. We got the lifters here and the valves, so we're going to be pulling those and probably swapping the valve stem seals, which are going to be on this pin right here. We're going to pull the retainers, and then that'll be that. I'll show you how to do that in a few. So yeah, we're going to do that, and then like I said, I'll hop back to you guys when Manny gets here. We're going to pull the head, and then I'll show you doing the valve stem seals, head gasket, and then putting everything back together. We're getting ready to pull the head bolts in the pattern that was on Gen Racer. So we're going to start on the front one, and they're T55s, so make sure you got that. We got a cheater bar, of course, on the torque wrench, and I'm gonna have my friend here apply pressure to the head of the bolt so we don't strip it.
strip.
Stop, feels great,
bruh. Feels great.
Yeah, that one's all right. That's the first one loose.
First one loose.
Gonna move on to number 2.
All right, we saw the pattern, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It came. I think I got it.
Okay.
All right, so I had to hop into the engine bay to get the last hose, but you know, it's always that's how it goes. You forget something, and it's the hardest thing to get to, but we're good. Head's ready to come off. Want to give me a lift in the front? I'll just hold the water pipe back here.
All right. Here we go. You're good. You're good. Oh! Oh my God! Oh my God! It got all over me.
WD-40. Not a lot, just to grease up the walls and stuff and the tops of the pistons. And then we're gonna crank it over a couple times. Make sure everything's good. Here's the new gasket. Made in Korea, so that's how you know it's good, because freaking OEM. I think it's OEM. Doesn't look OEM, but it's like a crushed gasket compared to the metal one that was on there before. I think it'll be a lot better.
It should seat better.
Yeah, it should seat a lot better than the other one. But otherwise, the pistons look good. I'm gonna check how flat we are here, and then check on the head in a second. And I'll show you guys that. So
what are you doing, J-bands?
right now, basically, we have a flat surface. This is perfectly flat. We're looking basically for dips or imperfections, and this is like, I think 15 thousandths of an inch right here, and you can see it doesn't pass here, and it's not going in. Check over here, and you're gonna check in different locations, like, yeah, see, just like that. And then we're gonna go up to see how much and see if we're within spec. If we have too much space, like how it's kind of showing that there's a big dip here, we're gonna have to get the block machine, so where it's perfectly flat again. Right now it's kind of warped and decked in the middle, but I think it'll be okay because it's within spec. And the head gasket, as you can see here, it's not perfectly flat. It has quite a bit of crush. So even if the middle is a little bit like lower and these ends are here, as long as the bolts are torqued to the right spec, it should seat and close.